Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be going through the mythic charm quality bonus for all of the heroes for the season 3 Chains of Eternity. This is really important information because this will actually decide how useful different heroes are going to be in the different game modes. We're going to lead it off with Reinier because he has an insane mythic quality charm bonus, which I feel like is going to make him even maybe usable even in endless bosses. Take a look at it. Mythic, when a battle begins, grants the ally players one tile behind him the ability to convert 40% of their damage dealt into true damage and increases their attack by 10% for the rest of the battle. This is honestly, in my opinion, even better than the previous season Waves of Intrigue quality bonus for Reinier, because this is actually converting some of their damage into true damage. It can make heroes like who otherwise are not usable in endless bosses or aren't great options like Talene, who just deals raw massive damage. It can convert some of that into true damage. Even Odie hits really hard, but he doesn't have any true damage in his kit. So this is amazing. I can't wait to see what it will mean for endless bosses in Reinier. And also Reinier is even good for your account pre-endless bosses. So I think this Chains of Eternity season is going to be a Reinier season to some extent. And so maybe it is still important, or if you have him at Mythic Plus, you will not feel basically regret about that, because I do think he's going to be very dominant with that charm set. Okay, let's continue. Let's go to Phraesto because he's another key hero a lot of people have on your account. Let's take a look at the quality bonus we have here. Okay, so this is not going to be good for boss content. This is going to be, however, good for like AFK stage pushing, which is not even as important anymore in this season due to the progress limit. It is important, but this is going to be important for PvP content. So it taunts enemies within a 2-tile radius for 5 seconds and gains 320% attack shield for each ultimate cast. And I guess both him and his illusion will be able to taunt different enemies and also gain this shield each time they cast their ultimate. Definitely Phraesto is going to take good advantage of this because both him and his illusion can get this effect. It will make him tankier and it will taunt to protect your other heroes pretty well. So not bad for Phraesto. Now we'll just go through all of the different heroes. So Burial, let's take a look at his charms. Burial is not a hero many people have built, but let's go over them. When dealing damage, strikes the target enemy again for bonus damage and grants a cast an extra attack. Okay, attack buff for the self. Stackable up to a max increase of 40% attack. This effect can be triggered once every 6 seconds per enemy and also applies to the caster's summons. Each time this effect is triggered, restores HP equal to 30%. This seems pretty crazy. Like you can stack your attack up to 40%. Each time you attack an enemy, it is going to give you 1 stack, and it can be triggered onto multiple enemies. Even your summons can trigger this, and it also gives you HP, like restoration of HP, which is pretty great. Talene, another key hero maybe a lot of people have built. 80 energy per second restoration until the caster's energy is fully restored for the first time. Upon casting the first ultimate, increases attack by 30% and crit by 30 for 8 seconds. There's an issue with this. This is mainly, in my opinion, this is looking more like PvP, allowing you to cast ultimate faster and get a higher burst on your first ultimate cast. But this is looking like it's only your first ultimate. So like for long drawn out fights like Dream Realm, for example, this is not going to be good. You only get 8 seconds of that buff value and that restoration for the first cast, but after that you're not going to get any value from this. So this is like purely PvP. Honestly, I'm not a fan of it. I don't think that this is going to be great. I think it's going to be quite a lot worse than the Waves of Intrigue effect for Talene. Okay, Mythic for Harak. Increases damage dealt by 50% to enemies with less than 50% health, so this is a PvP oriented one. This is not going to help in Dream Realm, other than pre-endless bosses when you can actually reduce the health to below 50%. Gains a 300% attack shield for 8 seconds when assisting or defeating a non-summoned enemy unit. While this shield is active, increase attack by 20%. So, I mean, this would be strong. However, non-summoned enemy units, so for example Plague Creeper, Skyclops, I think they're considered as summons. I don't know how they're going to compute that. If they're not and he gets his attack boost, that can be good for him for those Dream Realm bosses. For PvP, this will of course be good for him, making him tankier and also bonus execution, like kind of damage. Like increasing damage by 50% is huge. So for PvP, he is going to execute your heroes like no other, and also get that 20% attack increase, which is really strong. So Scarlita, let's take a look at her charms, because I don't think maybe a lot of people have Scarlita built, but let's just see. Does she have anything that will make her good for Dream Realm? Gains 30 crit when casting ultimate, gain 40 crit damage boost for 8 seconds, and recovers HP equal to 40% of ultimate damage. I mean, this is not great, honestly. This seems just PvP again. She will be dealing more damage with her ultimate and follow-up attacks for 8 seconds, and she will get HP recovery so she can like sustain herself better. But the issue with Scarlita, I guess maybe this could be good, because really the issue I have found with Scarlita in PvP even is now enemies are really tanky, or they have Coco ultimate running, and Scarlita can't even knock them off. But maybe with this crit and crit damage boost, it will be enough for her to actually execute and knock off enemies. We'll see. But the HP recovery, yeah, I mean, a bit of survivability, but this looks like a PvP upgrade. Won't lend her to Dream Realm too effectively. Okay, Damien, let's see what Damien has. Grants a 50% health shield and 45 energy on hit. For 8 seconds to the ally plays one tile in front of the caster when a battle starts. This ally first ultimate cast can also stun all enemies for 3 seconds. This is really interesting. So this is like the new support type buff that will be provided. It is a high shield. It is a high energy on hit, but it's only for 8 seconds. So it's not like a 45-second duration like in the Waves of Intrigue season, all of the buffs that were being provided. But it is more power at the beginning, which is what you need. In PvP, usually matches are decided in the first 10 seconds. This is a powerful effect. What is really crazy, your first ultimate cast can also stun all enemies for 3 seconds. So you'll want to give this to heroes who have AoE damaging ultimates. Could even be Scarlita, to be honest. But then you won't get the value from the shield and the energy on hit, because Scarlita will be in the air during that time. Okay, Ludovic. What does Ludovic have? This will be important because he is probably going to be good for Dream Realm. Increase the attack of another ally by 15% for 6 seconds when healing or granting a shield to them. This effect does not stack if the ally's HP ratio is higher than 80%. Grants an additional 20 haste. This is going to be strong, guys. For endless bosses, your heroes are usually capped out on HP. They're going to be above 80%. Ludovic will keep healing them with his Everbloom field. And they're going to get an attack and haste boost. Ludovic, this is going to be a Ludovic season. Reinier, Ludovic, those are the ones I'm thinking for season for Dream Realm. Let's take a look at Mikola, another key Dream Realm hero. Becomes invincible and effective for 5 seconds when HP drops below 30% for the first time, restoring 50 energy per second during this period. This is good for PvP because Mikola has issues surviving. Is basically like a Mauler, 3rd stage Mauler buff shell from Waves of Intrigue season, just on the charm effect, but this is not good for Dream Realm. Dream Realm, you do not need that. But wait. Will she not get devoured by Harak? That could actually be problematic. I think you can still probably... I don't know if you can one-shot and devour through this, because if this is going to block the devour of Harak, that's actually a problem. It's actually anti-synergy, which you wouldn't want. But let's take a look at Sonja. Unleashes Shockwave every 5 seconds, dealing 200% attack damage to surrounding enemies within 2 tiles and reducing their... Oh wow, physical defense and magical defense shred by 30% for 5 seconds. This effect can stack, restores their caster's HP equal to 30%. This is going to make her better for Dream Realm. Sonja is also going to be better for Dream Realm. She has the defense shred, that is going to increase her damage output. And she has the periodic damage, which is nice as well. Sonja is looking good. So keep Sonja on your wish list if you don't already have her built up to Mythic Plus and eventually even Supreme Plus. What does Shakir have? When dealing damage to a target, causes splash damage equal to 40% of base damage to their adjacent enemies. Splash damage won't trigger the effect of the skill. When casting ultimate, deals damage equal to 12% of current HP to all enemies up to 280% attack. So basically it's just amplifying his damage. This is going to be a PvP oriented artifact kind of. Basically he will be dealing the splash damage onto his target, and also his ultimate is going to hit them a bit harder. Yeah, but nothing, this is not going to really be great for Dream Realm or really need it at all. What does Odie have? Deals extra damage every 3 normal attacks. Hits equal to hit target of 8% of the HP up to caster's 350% attack. Now the question is, this is damage, right? So damage is actually going to be reduced by defenses of the enemy. For example, if it's an endless boss. So this is basically going to increase Odie's damage output. It will be good for PvP. It will be good for Dream Realm. But it is still going to be reduced by defenses of the enemy. However, with the Reinier charm effect, you can convert his damage, some of it into true damage, which will be good. Grant 80 attack speed bonus for 6 seconds every time the caster uses the ultimate. This is strong. Odie cycles his ultimate really quickly. We don't have Resonating Spell in this season, which is unfortunate, otherwise it would be even more insane, but 80 attack speed boost for Odie is really crazy. I'm thinking Odie could be good for Dream Realm. We'll definitely pre-end this and post-end this, who knows. Lily May, every 10 seconds in a battle, increases the caster's attack by 8%, and their physical and magical defense by 16%. The effect lasts until the end of the battle. After 60 seconds have passed in a battle, caster's attack deals extra damage equal to 40% of the target's lost HP up to the caster's 320% attack. What? The bonus damage can be triggered once every 6 seconds per enemy? Okay, so this is gonna be... she's gonna be crazy in Dream Realm, because it says every 10 seconds. So after 30 seconds, it's going to be 3 times this bonus. Imagine how much attack she's going to gain. So this, of course, is geared towards boss content, where you have the whole 90 seconds to damage the boss as much as you can. But Lily May is going to stack up to an insane amount of attack. Also, she's going to have this bonus damage after 60 seconds into the match, which is going to increase her damage even further, and it can be triggered once every 6 seconds onto the boss, for example. So Lily May, again, going to look amazing for Dream Realm this season. Let's take a look at Hugin, what she has. Becomes invincible and unaffected for 5 seconds when HP drops below 30% for the first time. Okay, same effect as Mikola, survivability, which is good. For PvP, that is really good, because Hugin has an issue surviving. There we have the new Tassi skin, which is beautiful, but very, very expensive, so don't get attached to it. Yeah. Okay, oh wow, Tassi has the same effect as Lily May. This is good for Tassi because Tassi has solo potential and can stall out fights. And so this is gonna be kind of good synergy with her, but she will not be good for bosses, and so... really, I think this charm is gonna see its most value in bosses where you have the whole 90 seconds. Hugin. Okay, this is the crazy thing. Hugin has the same effect as Reinier. That is insane. So Hugin may also be important for Dream Realm content. Like, I'm thinking Odie behind the Hugin, ramp him up, and basically it's going to be machine gun Odie with true damage bullets, because some of that damage will be true damage. So Hugin is probably going to be one to watch for Dream Realm this season. Let's take a look at Coco, what she has. Coco has the same effect as Damon, to be expected. It is kind of the standard supportive type charm, so we can just move on from that. Mirael, what does Mirael have? Deals extra damage every 3 normal attacks. Okay, so this is going to be the same effect as the... oh, I forgot. It was the Odie, right? Yeah, so Odie and Mirael have the same effect, which is a strong effect. Mirael already is a pretty good option for Dream Realm, even pre-endless or post-endless, depending on which heroes you have built up. However, I think, of course, if you have Lily May and the optimal heroes built up, you probably will not use Mirael. But if you don't have all of the top Dream Realm heroes built, then definitely Mirael could see some use in Dream Realm this season. Okay, so this is going to be the same effect as Talene. The problem is, Viperion is just not used that much, and it is going to be only on the first cast, basically. Alamis is going to have, oh wow, Alamis is going to have the same effect as your Hugin and your Reinier. Now, Alamis is not good for boss content, so this effect alone is not going to be a reason to run him. You would rather run Hugin or Reinier, for example. However, Alamis is great for AFK stages. This is going to increase the damage of one of your damage dealers, which can be good. It is a useful effect. Corrin, what does Corrin have? Because he's a pretty good Dream Realm hero as well. Increases the attack of another ally by 15% for 6 seconds. Okay, so this is like the Ludovic effect, right? However, Ludovic is going to get more value from this because he can heal like all of your allies at once. Corrin can kind of only shield one ally at a time. And the thing is only going to last for 6 seconds, right? So, like, Ludovic can continuously proc this onto all of your team. Corrin is basically only going to be proccing this onto one of your allies who he shields. But it can give them attack and haste. So, not a bad overall effect, but not amazing. So, it's not really going to make, like, Corrin a game-breaking Dream Realm hero. Okay, Silvina. When a battle starts, gains 40% attack and 40 haste, which is powerful because Silvina is strongest at the beginning of the battle. These buffs will last until the end of the battle, but decay by 2% attack and 2 haste per second until they reach 0. Assisting or defeating a non-summoned enemy unit for the first time will stop the decay and restore the caster's HP equal to 150% of the total damage dealt to the target. This is actually insane for Silvina, because Silvina is all about getting that initial kill really quickly, and like the quicker you get the kill, the quicker you can stop the decay, and it sounds like it is a permanent stop onto the decay, and you're going to retain whatever stats will be after however long you lasted, basically. Like if you, for example, kill them within 4 seconds, you're only going to decay by 8% attack and 8 haste. You're going to still have 32% attack, 32 haste. That's what it sounds like. And also you're going to get a massive HP healing based on the damage dealt. So Silvina is looking good this season, especially like with the wilder buff tiles. If you make it concealed to protect her more, I think it could be pretty crazy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Silvina in PvP this season. Smokey, what do you have? This will be important. Okay, Smokey has the same supportive type charm effect. Yeah, I mean, for Dream Realm, this is not great. This is really a PvP oriented charm bonus, so for Dream Realm, it's not really going to help you that much. Floribel is going to have the same bonus as Burial, which is really strong for Floribel because all of her summons can stack this up for her, and then you're going to gain that bonus attack, stacking up to 40%, and also HP recovery each time it triggers. Floribel will be better for PvP this season, and even potentially for Dream Realm if you want to use her there, although she's not great in Dream Realm. Bonnie, when dealing damage, strikes the enemy target, and okay. So Bonnie has the same effect as your Floribel, which is good because Bonnie's aging magic is going to spread onto other enemies and deal damage per second. She also has AoE attacks, and so all of these are going to help her stack up her attack faster, and then she's going to get more ticking damage per second. This is going to make her better for AFK stages and PvP, but still not good enough for Dream Realm in my opinion. Lenya, what charms you have? 30 crit when casting ultimate, gains a 40 crit damage boost for 8 seconds and recovers HP equal to 40% of... Well, I mean, this is pretty crazy because Lenya synergizes really well off of crit. Like, her whole kit is designed around critting enemies to get bonus damage, and this will give her a crit damage boost as well. So this has a lot of synergy. Lenya has a good charm set for her, but she is, for PvP and even honestly for Dream Realm, she has uses in Dream Realm. Okay, so, basically, this is actually a good effect for Rowan. Like, the thing is, the attack and crit is not useful for him. However, the energy recovery at the beginning of the match in order to get his first and ultimate cast off more quickly is powerful. Although Rowan is just kind of not a great hero to be running, so I don't consider him, like, top tier. Okay, Brutus has the same effect as Rowan and Talene, which is, okay, he can cast his ultimate more quickly, spin to win. The spin gives him invincibility or immunity to damage as well. But, yeah, and it gives him attack and crit. Not bad. But it is kind of just a PvP effect. Hodgkin, what do you have? Hodgkin... Okay, so Hodgkin has a summoning mechanic to stack up his attack, which is good. However, Hodgkin is just not a great hero for PvP. But like when Ravage Realm comes around, or maybe the Plague Creeper boss, then maybe he can actually be good. Iron, when dealing damage, causes splash damage, and when casting ultimate, deals damage equal to 12% of current HP to all enemies. That's not bad. I mean, the thing is, Iron is going to be casting ultimate more frequently than other heroes because he begins the match with an ultimate, so you'll get more damage off from that, and then he's dealing splash damage. I mean, not a bad charm effect for Iron, but of course it will be PvP and AFK stages limited. Now let's take a look at Carolina. During the battle, increase attack by 10%. This is a new effect, right? Each time the caster deals a total of 800% damage with non-normal attacks, so skills and ultimates, up to a max increase of 50% attack. That is a lot. This effect lasts until the end of the battle. When reaching its max stack, gains 30 extra haste until the end of the battle. This is a strong effect, going to make her better for AFK stages. For PvP, it's too slow in my opinion for this to ramp up. The match will be decided by that point. But for AFK stages, this is going to be great. And maybe even Ravage Realm when it comes around. Nero, what do you have? Nero has... Okay, Nero has the other one, converting 40% of damage into true damage. And attack boost. So, but the thing is, Nero is just not a great hero. Again, if you're going to run in Dream Realm, it'll be Reinier or Hugin. You're not going to be running Nero. And so, yeah, I mean, maybe Ravage Realm has uses, but other than that, not really. Sinbad, what do you have? Sinbad has extra damage every 3 normal attacks. Up to the caster, 350%, grants 80, so this is the same effect as Mirael and Odie, which is not bad. Like, he has high attack speed, and giving him bonus attack speed actually increases his skill casting frequency, because Sinbad has that unique effect that his attack speed will also allow him to cast his skills more frequently. Yeah, or reducing his cast time. Okay, so not bad for Sinbad. Yeah, but again, Sinbad maybe will have some Dream Realm use. However, I don't think this is really enough to make him like a meta Dream Realm hero, because this is not boosting other heroes, it's just boosting himself, right? And that is the main issue. But maybe, yeah. In pre-endless, Sinbad had some use, but he's just not too important of a hero to have on your account. Okay, Kruger grants a shield for 5 seconds. Each time the caster deals a total of amount of damage in the battle, this effect can be triggered up to 10 times per battle. Also grants a shield for 15 seconds at the start of battle, making the caster unaffected as long as the shield remains active. I mean, this is pretty good. Like, I'm thinking for PvP because then he's more tanky, he's unaffected, he has that big shield at the beginning of the match. For boss content, you don't really need any of this. Like, Kruger usually never has an issue dying, and like if you're using him with Harak anyway, you'd be devouring him. So yeah, I mean, I don't think these, I think this is kind of like a PvP-oriented choice of charms. And Kruger was pretty good in the last season in PvP, just as a tank in the Maulers. But the thing is, this season Mauler buff tiles are weaker, and then you're probably not going to want to run that many teams, and then you'll just never run Kruger. What does Thoran have? This is important. Okay, the Shockwave with Defense Shred, like the Sonja effect, this is powerful. This will make him even better for Dream Realm. And pre-end this, Thoran is pretty good for Dream Realm for boosting your hero's damage. Vala, what does she have? When a battle starts, so same effect as Sonja. Yeah, I mean not Sonja, same effect as Silvina. This makes a lot of sense because it's about getting an initial kill really early on. She'll have that attack boost, and the quicker you get that kill or assist, you're going to stop your decay and retain those stats, which is powerful. Okay, Arden. What does Arden have? Arden has when dealing damage to splash damage. Okay, so higher damage on ultimate cast, splash damage on dealing damage to an enemy target. This is powerful, because Arden will be casting his ultimate pretty frequently. This will be good for AFK stages, which is Arden's main use. And it can be good in PvP because, yeah, I mean, in PvP this season, the Wilders are going to be stronger. And so I think Arden is going to make a comeback. Igor. What does Igor have? It probably doesn't matter because he's not really used anywhere. Every 10 seconds in battle, increase the caster's attack by this. So this is a Lily May effect, right? Which synergizes with him because he does have stall factor, but the thing is, Igor is just not a very strong hero to be running. However, if you have a plan to run him in PvP, this effect is going to be kind of nice, but the problem is, again, it's too long. It's like a really slow buffing type effect, which is good for Dream Realm, but it's not really good for PvP, where matches are not going to be stalled out for that long. Faye, increase the attack of another ally by 15% for 6 seconds when healing or granting a shield. This is good. For Ravage Realm, this will probably be good. Apart from that, Faye is not really used anywhere, so it will be Ravage Realm. And of course, Legend Trials, it can be good, but yeah, we haven't really been talking about that. Okay. Parisa. Parisa has restore 40 energy per second during battle. Once a total of 900 energy is restored through this effect, increase the caster's ultimate damage by 50% for the rest of the battle. This is strong. So Parisa, Ravage Realm is one use at the end of the season. The other use is, for example, battle drills. This is going to be good for her because then she's going to have that ultimate damage boost, and she gets a lot of damage from her ultimate skill. Other than that, if you want to use her in PvP, this can be good, but again, it will take a while for you to get the full 900 energy recharge and the higher ultimate damage, so the fight will probably be over by the time you get that effect, which is the problem. Apart from that, if you wanted to use her maybe in Plague Creeper boss with a lot of summons, I don't know if she will be viable there, but that's just an idea, then maybe this could be good as well. Okay, we have Elsa. Elsa has which charms this season? Restores energy, so same charms as Parisa. And okay, not bad. Her ultimate is going to be casted really frequently, and she's good in battle drills, right, with Quarren. And so probably I'm thinking this is going to be a good battle drills effect. For PvP, again, the problem is it does give her more energy at the beginning, but the thing is to get the full value of the effect, you need to fully stack it up, and that can take a lot of time. Citrana has the same effect as the other two heroes, so yeah, but Citrana not really used. Even in Ravage Realm this season was not used. Cecia, what does she have? Deals extra damage every 3 normal attacks. The same effect as Odie, Mirael, and even the Sinbad. So this is going to boost your damage. It won't, like, this could be good for early game players who don't have a lot of heroes. For Dream Realm, for example, you can use her. But other than that, for like late game players, I think Ravage Realm would really be the only use. Brian, what does Brian have? Oh, okay, this is not good. So Brian is going to be a bit rest in peace for this season because he's just increasing his own damage, and his own damage is not high. The reason he was good in Waves of Intrigue was he was amplifying your whole team's damage. Like when dealing damage, strikes the target enemy again for 150% damage and grant the 10% attack buff. Stackable up to 40%. Okay, so this is like the Summoners, Floribel, Hodgkin, for example, effect. is going to increase her attack, which I don't really like, because Leica is a pure supportive type hero. Her own damage is not so high, but maybe for Ravage Realm it can be good. For the Dionel comp, it doesn't help the Dionel comp, right? Because the problem is this is not helping your team's damage, or you're providing any buffs for your team. It's purely self buffs, so that's not good. Lumont has the defense shred that can be good for AFK stages. That's pretty much the only use of Lumont in this season, because the Molly buff tiles are not as strong. I don't suspect that Lumont will be great in PvP. Cassidy, what does she have? Okay, she has the same effect as Elsa and Parisa. This can be good. I mean, if she's usable in Plague Creeper boss, then, I mean, this is going to be good for her, boosting her ultimate damage. But, again, the problem is, this is for long, drawn-out fights, like 90-second type fights. But who knows? Yeah, I think in Plague Creeper, it's really possible that Cassidy might actually be a good option. We'll have to wait and see, because when there are a lot of summons always on the field, then that is when Cassidy gets value. But the thing is, Harak is probably going to be the overall, the winner in that boss as well, so yeah. Okay, Lucius. Lucius has increased the attack of another ally by 15% when healing or shielding them. This is good because Lucius has multiple heals and shields in his kit, and he can AoE shield with his ultimate as well, depending on the grouping of your team, and it will give them the attack buff, it will give them the haste buff if they're above 80% health. This is good. Lucius is actually going to be a pretty good option for even boss content, and definitely battle drills as well. Okay, Temesia, 10 seconds in battle, increase the caster's attack by 8%. Okay, so same effect for long drawn out fights. This will be good for her for Dream Realm. And Temesia is not a bad hero for Dream Realm. She deals pretty decent damage. This is going to boost her damage further. But yeah, it is for long drawn out fights, because this is a slow buffing charm effect, and so you want to have it like, yeah, set. Increase damage up to by 50% to enemies with less than 50% health. This is the Harak effect. This is going to be good for Relentless Rumble, definitely. And it can even be good for PvP. Gains a shield for 8 seconds when assisting or defeating a non-summon enemy unit. While the shield is active, increase attack by 20%. Yeah, Relentless Rumble. Maybe Plague Creeper. Like, if you're rapidly killing enemies, possible. However, and definitely in Ravage Realm, probably going to be good. Salazar, what do you have? Gains a 220% attack shield for 5 seconds. Each time the caster deals a total of 800% attack damage during battle. This effect can be triggered up to 10 times per battle. This is like the Kruger charm bonus. This is weird. This is a weird charm bonus. Anyway, Salazar is not really used that much, and so yeah, not going to be too important. Okay, so Luca. Unleash a shockwave every 5 seconds, dealing damage. So Luca has a defense shred that can be good for AFK stages, but I don't know. If light bearers, it will depend how good light bearers are this season for AFK stage pushing. Otherwise, Luca is not going to really be used anywhere. Crit bonus and crit damage boost on ultimate cast for Reese, which is good. But he's kind of like only a PvP hero. And even there, he's not really too great at that. But for Ravage Realm, it could be good. So keep Reese on your wish list for Ravage Realm at the end of the season. That's probably going to be important. Okay, is this a new effect? Increases physical defense and magical defense by 5 for the caster and allies within 2 tiles every 30%. For 5 every 30%? Every 5 seconds? For 30, I think it's for 30% every 5 seconds. Wait, I don't understand. Or maybe up to 30% for 5 seconds. This effect can't stack. Grants a shield of 20% health for 5 seconds. Okay, so it's like a physical and magical defense boost to the caster and her nearby allies within 2 tiles. And it will also grant them a shield, making them tankier. And that is Antanja's job, to basically tank and protect her team. So it synergizes with her. Let's see, Atalanta. During the battle, increase attack by 10%. Okay. Is a Caroline effect, and then eventually it will go to a max increase of 50% attack and 30 haste. The thing is, right now, Atalanta is not used. Even in Ravage Realm this season, Razor Intrigue, she was not used. So the only saving point for Atalanta is when she gets her level 2 upgrade, because they did say she's getting a level 2 upgrade, but we don't know how far in the future that is going to be. But that's something to keep in mind, and probably keep her on your wish list, or like maybe buy her from the arena store, because she is going to get a level 2 upgrade, and then maybe she will be good. Reinier, we've already seen, his are really good. Walker, what does Walker have? Walker has a level 2 upgrade this season, but still, it is not a great effect in my opinion, so gains 220% shield, so same effect as Kruger. I don't understand, like, it makes him tankier, but it's really weird. I don't like this charm bonus of the Kruger and the Walker. Not a fan of a Salazar. Okay, we have the defense shred for the granny. dealing damage and restore caster's HP equal to 30% of the damage dealt by the skill. This will make Granny tankier, and also it will be Granny will have some debuffs, like debuffing the enemies to increase your damage onto them. Mirael is looking really good with her level 2 skill upgrade for this Supreme Plus. During the battle, increase attack by 10%. After dealing 800%, she's going to go up to 50% attack and 30 haste. I think for Ravage Realm at the end of the season, I definitely see Mirael being a great option. Maybe even for Legend Trials. Apart from that, I still find it difficult to be able to use her in PvP. But if you're limited on options, I think this is now the time where you would want to try Mirael in PvP, because she is really good with her level 2 skill upgrade. And this effect is going to boost her more. But her survival is going to be the issue. She can still be killed very quickly and easily, and that is a problem. What does Nara have? Okay, Nara has an execution-related thing like Vala and Silvina, which makes sense. You want to get a kill early on in the match, but Nara just isn't too great overall. What does Thoran have? Yeah, I mean, I don't like this. I mean, it will make him tanky at the beginning of the battle with unaffected, which is kind of nice. And then he gains a shield for 5 seconds each time he deals a certain amount of damage. It can be triggered up to 10 times, but it's not increasing his damage output. It's only increasing his tankiness, which maybe is needed, because like last season he was used because of the Mauler buff tiles. This is gonna like basically increase his tankiness and give him unaffected without the Mauler buff tiles, which I guess is not bad. I guess the real value of this charm bonus is the fact that you become unaffected at the beginning of the battle, and so that can be good for PvP. So maybe not terrible. Maybe Thoran will have some use in PvP this season, but the other heroes like Kruger, Salazar, I just don't think they're good enough, and like with this charm bonus is not going to be enough. Khafra has, okay, he has the execution related charm bonus. He gets to get a kill really early on in order to prevent the decay of these stats. Khafra, honestly, no one's really going to be using him. So let's move on to Valen. Valen because 80 energy. Okay, so this is the Talene effect, and boosts his ultimate damage at the first ultimate cast. But honestly, again, Valen, not a used hero pretty much at all. Dionel, what does Dionel have? Invincible and unaffected for 5 seconds when HP drops below 30% for the first time. Restoring 50 energy per second during this period. This is very strong. This is kind of like the Waves of Intrigue art charm bonus that he had. But honestly, I think this is even better, because he's unaffected. He also has the 50 energy per second during that period, so he can charge up his ultimate more quickly. This is a really good effect for Dionel. And Dunlinger, what does Dunlinger have? Dunlinger has restore 80 energy per second until the caster's energy is fully restored for the first time upon casting. Increasing his own attack is not good, right? Dunlinger does not deal damage, so that is like kind of a wasted effect, but this will allow him to charge up his energy faster to recast his ultimate more quickly. And then we have the Chippy and Hammy. They actually have, okay, restore 40 energy per second during battle. Once a total of 900 energy is restored through this effect. Then increase the caster's ultimate damage for 50%. And Chippy is going to have the same effect. Anyway, guys, that is it. These are all of the heroes. He has all of the heroes on his account, so we have covered literally all of the charm quality bonuses that you're going to be able to get in this Chains of Eternity season. So, guys, let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comment section. Which charms are you the biggest fan of? Which heroes are you going to be crafting and going for their charms first? But overall, pretty cool. The charm bonuses are looking great, and I'm excited for the testing and being able to unlock them when we get the new season. But thanks for watching, guys. That is going to be it for this video. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.